Let's get ready to rumble! Fighting out of the blue corner, wearing white with black, official weight 129 pounds. Professional record 48 victories, including 34 knockouts with 4 defeats. He is the former super bantamweight world champion, former featherweight world champion, and former super featherweight champion of the world, damas y caballeros de la zona norte, Tijuana, Mexico, Eric el Terrible Morales. And across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing white with flame, official weight also 129 pounds. His professional record, 42 victories, including 32 knockouts with 3 defeats and 2 draws. From General Santos City, Philippines, former flyweight champion of the world, former super flyweight champion of the world, the reigning and defending WBC International Super Featherweight Champion, Manny Pacquiao.
All right, gentlemen, this is for the WBC International Super Featherweight Title. You've received your instructions in the dressing room. Again, I want to caution you. Any punches below this point are going to be called low. Golpes de bajo, de este punto, ser llamado bajo. With that said, I want you to obey my commands, protect yourselves at all times. Obedezca mis comandos y protegerse a sí mismo siempre. Touch on it now, good luck to both of you. Tóquenlos, buena suerte.
Hide the women and children, if any of them are still awake.
I don't know about you, Larry, but the kind of women I know love this stuff.
If you smell what The Rock is cooking.
Round 1 begins. Will it be a boxing match? Will it be a brawl? Will it be a little of both?
Morales looking like he wants to engage. Pacquiao just figuring out what he's doing.
Pacquiao's belief is that Erik Morales wants to come and try to get him early. After what happened in the last fight, Pacquiao believes that Morales doesn't believe in his gas tank, doesn't think he can go down the stretch with the Filipino slugger. So Manny thinks that Morales is going to try to impose his size early. But tonight, on official weights, Manny's the bigger guy.
Well, you know, the fact that Morales wanted to use the puncher's gloves also created a little interest to me, at least. Normally he would be asking for the winning, but he wanted to go with the gloves that Pacquiao wanted, which means I think he wants to go for the power punch this fight early.
Indeed, there's been quite a story of the gloves since the first fight. In the very first fight, Erik Morales had a contract that required both fighters to wear winning gloves. They are called pillows by some. They are more hand protective than punch promoting. In the second fight, they got to wear the gloves they wanted. Morales wore winning. Pacquiao wore his beloved Reyes puncher's gloves and knocked Morales out, which he had said would be the case. Now in the third fight, both fighters choose to wear the puncher's glove, Reyes.
Pacquiao's already landed a couple of good body punches to test Morales's, not only his defense, but long-term his stamina.
Look, Morales made to wait, as I said earlier, but I just don't think that that's the proper weight for him at this age and time in his career. And going down the stretch, I think that may be a big factor, too, as well as the hard fights that he's had.
And if Pacquiao thought Morales was coming to try to get him early, Erik has shown none of that in the first round, as he merely stands his ground in the middle of the ring and takes a right hook from Manny Pacquiao, who was so much better with his right hand in the second fight than in the first. Another right hook lands.
Manny consistently beating Morales to the punch so far.
And Morales countering with a right hand that knocks Manny back. And Morales again countering properly upstairs. And Pacquiao comes back with his own assault. And both fighters' crowds are on their feet.
You know, technically, Pacquiao is not a solid fighter, as everyone in boxing knows. He often gets out of position often with his punches and does a lot of things awkward and unorthodox, but still there's so much fight in him that it takes him through. In this case here, I just don't think that Morales is strong enough. And when he misses his punches, I'm looking at his legs. His legs doesn't seem to be that coordinated.
For these fighters, this is just a warm-up round.
May have been a
Left stuff. He's got the right stuff behind it now.
That was one of the big changes between fight 1 and fight 2. CompuBox numbers in round 1. Pacquiao 15 out of 41. Morales 10 out of 41. Pacquiao with a 10-5 edge in Power Connects. You saw that Judge Harold Letterman, our unofficial scorer, gave the first round to Manny. Pacquiao crowd chanting Manny, Manny, Manny. Morales, who landed some good right hands in the first fight, tried to drive Pacquiao back with right hands there, but Manny comes back with a torrent of punches from his own. Packed house, and of course you have ardent, spirited Mexican and Mexican-American Morales rooters sitting next to and among ardent, spirited Filipino and Filipino-American rooters for Pacquiao.
And what's interesting, a lot of the Mexican fans like Pacquiao themselves too, because of his style of fight and being so aggressive.
And because of the Spanish-speaking tradition of the Filipino archipelago. Or the Philippine archipelago. Another body shot by Pacquiao. And they get close to the ropes, and Morales throws his right hand. You can see why Freddie Roach asks his fighter to stay away from the ropes and in the center of the ring. Good jab by Morales, sweeping right hand partially blocked. Now Pacquiao lands a right and a left, and another right hook, and a left hand over the top. The sheer aggression of Manny Pacquiao, difficult for every opponent.
He looks so strong and so sturdy as compared to Morales. Even though Morales is landing, he seems to be still uncoordinated as compared to...
Down goes Morales on a Pacquiao right hand.
Left.
And Morales thought that he had Pacquiao in trouble.
He got overexcited, overextended himself, and left himself open.
I just don't think he has the strength or the stamina to hold over Pacquiao.
That was the 4th time in his career that Erik Morales has been knocked down. 2 of them were in the last fight against Pacquiao, and they led ultimately to the end of the fight. The first knockdown of Morales' career was a glove-touching brush with the canvas against Marco Antonio Barrera in the 12th round of their first fight. So he's never exactly been thunderously put on his back, but he goes down easier against Pacquiao than against anybody else he's ever fought. That's
because of how quick Pacquiao's fists are, and he doesn't see the punches coming, Jim.
Pacquiao again landing his straight left hand. Morales chases him and lands a right. They trade punches at the ropes. And when they trade punches, Morales takes a gamble with Pacquiao's strength and power.
Pacquiao is a 2-to-1 favorite in this.
Always wants to get the last punch. The great fights with the world was attributed to that attitude of his of wanting to have the last punch.
Letting his hands go, Erik Morales threw 80 punches in the second round, but Manny Pacquiao throwing only 55, landed 24, 3 more than Morales. So Pacquiao a little more precise, and you won't often say that. Normally he's just throwing because he is a noisy storm in the ring.
Pacquiao's fighting a much more intelligent fight now than he did earlier, about 4 or 5 years ago. I think him and Freddie Roach have worked a lot. His jab is a lot better. Even right there, he tried to counter with a jab after blocking a jab.
Pacquiao landed a right hand upstairs. Erik Morales got to his body with the right hand. Pacquiao much more focused on landing his jab in this fight than was the case in the first 2 fights. Solid left hand, backs Morales up, crowd loves it. And unlike some punchers, Manny does have head movement.
Yeah, those is almost reminiscent of a little Aaron Proud, the way he punched to the body and then comes up on top.
Erik Morales, not afraid to fight with one of the most dangerous punchers in the sport.
Erik Morales likes to get that last punch in.
He has the kind of will that allows some men walk over hot coals.
That's a right hook, the punch that...
Hard right
that
hand,
works
stun
for him.
Morales. Pacquiao's all over him. Thinks he's got a chance.
He didn't
Morales
see it.
slightly staggered after that last left hand. And down he goes. Solid left hand shot by Pacquiao, who did not like Morales saying that he didn't hurt him with punches in the second fight. Pacquiao was insulted by that.
Yeah.
He said, okay, I'll hurt him this time.
But he's a fighter. He's going to fight still. He's not going to try to run out of place.
What is the referee doing? Why is he holding
He's
the fight?
forcing him to go back to the neutral corner.
Oh, what a solid left hand by Pacquiao. It's hard to imagine how Morales can last long against this.
Well, until he goes out, he's going to be fighting all the way down. He's not going to back up.
What guts by Morales! He strafes Pacquiao with right hands, even while on unsteady feet.
And he is hurt.
And he holds on for one of the first times in his career. 30 seconds to go. Another huge left hand by Pacquiao. Punch after punch after punch. And he wants to finish Morales right here. And the brave heart of Morales holds up, but his legs go again. Third knockdown of the fight by Pacquiao against Morales.
He doesn't want to get up.
Morales shakes his head as if to say, I want no more. That is that. Dick Dracula stops the fight. Manny Pacquiao has the knockout.
He looked at
Stewart.
Well,
Let's take a look at some replays.
Manny's name is Emmanuel, too. His real name. Yeah. It's just everything. It's just too much of an attack, the intensity, the fury. The wrong thing for an Asian fighter.
It's hard to uphold precision and craft when a guy is just overwhelming you.
And he punches good with both hands now. It used to be with a simple 1-2 puncher with a straight left. Now he does a right hook, uppercuts, everything.
Now, shortly after this second knockdown, if the camera angle shows it to you, you will see, exactly as Larry Merchant said, Erik Morales stares into the corner and looks at his father.
Well, that's the same look that I said before that I saw when he went down the last fight, even though he said it wasn't from a punch. And I saw the same thing with Arturo Gatti. And that's the worst look it is when they say, I'm done, I'm finished.
That's the look, right there.
And Alexis Aguero did it the second fight with Aaron Proud. The same look, I'm done.
Michael Buffer's